Welcome to the deep dive, where we sift through the noise to bring you clarity and insight. I'm really glad you're with us today because we're tackling a concept that's, well, it's both deeply personal and universally significant: faith. And we're not just glancing at it, we're going deep, really trying to understand its foundation. Our focus today is specifically on faith, and we're looking at it through a really timeless and potent lens, Hebrews 11.1. The insights we're sharing, they come from a pretty comprehensive exploration called faith, confidence in the unseen. So our mission for you, our listener, is to unpack this key verse. We want to go beyond just a simple definition and hopefully uncover some maybe surprising insights into its core parts, its relevance today, and how it actually, applies to your life right now. Think of this as your shortcut to really getting faith in a profound, actionable way without getting bogged down.
Yeah, and it's important to see that Hebrews 11.1, it isn't just one definition among many. It's widely seen as the direct, divinely inspired definition from the writer of Hebrews. This verse has really been a cornerstone for believers for centuries, especially when things feel uncertain. It gives such a clear, concise, yet really powerful framework for what faith actually is, and its power to encourage and guide. That's exactly why it comes up so often when we talk about faith. It grounds something abstract.
Okay, great point. So let's unpack this. Let's get right to the heart of what the source material is highlighting here. We're talking about Hebrews 11.1 and reads, "Now faith is confidence in what we hope for and assurance about what we do not see."
That verse, yeah, it truly is the writer's direct definition. Makes it an incredibly potent starting point for understanding faith. And what's really interesting, as our source points out, is looking at different translations. Like, the King James uses substance, the ESV uses conviction. Comparing them can add these subtle, rich layers to how we get it. The core message is the same, of course, but it shows the care, the meticulous wording in this foundational statement. Every word counts.
It's a very precise statement, isn't it? It really frames faith not as some vague feeling, but as having two distinct pillars, yet they're completely interwoven. They work together. It's not either or, it's both and. Okay, let's dig into that first pillar, confidence in what we hope for. Now, for a lot of people, hope can sound a bit like wishful thinking, right? Like, I hope I win the lottery, or
Or I hope it doesn't rain.
yeah, exactly. But the source makes a critical distinction here. It emphasizes faith isn't just passive hoping, it's genuine, active confidence. So what's that crucial difference based on our source?
That's a vital question. And the source material really stresses that this hope, it isn't some baseless desire, like, wishing for good weather. Instead, it's explicitly firmly rooted in God's promises. That's where the confidence stems from. It's not confidence in our ability to make something happen, or even the likelihood of our wishes coming true. It's confidence in God's character, his faithfulness to his word. The surprising insight, I think, is that true biblical hope isn't about how you feel about the future. It's about what you know about the one holding it. It's a certainty, not just optimism. It really distinguishes faith from simple human optimism, which, let's face it, can be fragile, depends on circumstances.
That makes perfect sense. Yeah, it shifts the foundation from us to something much more solid.
Yeah.
Okay, then we move to the second pillar, assurance about what we do not see. Now, this phrase, for many, might immediately bring up images of, like, blind belief, just believing something without any logical reason.
Right.
How does the source material address that? How does it differentiate this assurance from, truly blind faith?
Right. That's a common misconception, and our source clarifies it really beautifully, I think. This assurance isn't a void of evidence. It's actually a profound conviction based on trust. Trust in God's character, his integrity, even when the tangible circumstances, the immediate evidence, it just isn't visible yet. Think of it like this. Maybe like trusting a complex medical procedure your doctor recommends. You can't see the outcome, right? You don't feel the change happening inside. But your assurance, it's based on the doctor's proven expertise, their track record, your trust in their character, their training. You're trusting the guide, essentially. Or, to use that really powerful analogy from the source material.
The map analogy.
Exactly. Faith is trusting the map even when the road ahead is completely shrouded in fog. You might not see the destination, you might not even see the next turn clearly, but you absolutely know that the guide who gave you the map, the cartographer who drew it, is trustworthy. So your assurance isn't blind at all. It's based on the proven reliability of the source, not on your own ability to physically see the path right now. It makes the abstract tangible, doesn't it?
It truly does. That foggy map analogy really hits home, makes it incredibly relatable. But for me, the definition really starts to, well, come alive when we see it lived out. So here's where it gets particularly interesting. How do we actually see this type of faith, this confidence and assurance demonstrated in the real world? Beyond just a powerful definition, what deeper insights does the source give us about these examples? Well, a phenomenal example has to be the story of Abraham, often called the father of faith.
Mm,
He was called by God to leave his home, everything he knew, and journey to a land he'd never seen. No personal experience with it. He was literally walking into the unknown, based purely on a divine promise.
right. And this is where the source offers a truly profound insight, I feel. Abraham's faith wasn't this singular, perfect, unwavering act of trust. He didn't just instantly become the perfect example we often imagine. The truth is, and the wider biblical narrative shows this as our source discusses, Abraham's journey was marked by very human moments. Doubt, fear, even attempts to, let's say, help God out.
Yeah.
Think of Hagar and Ishmael, or passing Sarah off as his sister out of fear. So what his story really illustrates then is that faith isn't about being perfect, it's about persistence. He didn't have a detailed map, no clear itinerary, just the promise. And yet, despite his flaws, his stumbles, he returned to trust. He continued to obey. He kept moving forward based on that unseen promise. That, the source argues, is the real essence of faith in action. It's a repeated choice to trust the unseen, even when it's messy, even when you feel like you're taking a detour sometimes.
That's a much more relatable picture, isn't it? And a more nuanced understanding than just seeing Abraham as some kind of superhuman figure. So it's not a single perfect leap, but more like a consistent, often imperfect lifestyle of choosing trust. Okay, and for another powerful yet really simple illustration, I often think of that image the source provides, the child jumping into a parent's arms at the pool. Most of us have seen that, or maybe even done it.
Oh, it's such a vivid picture, isn't it? An everyday picture of pure trust. The child, like suspended in midair, they can't see the exact point of impact, can't calculate the physics of the catch. They can't objectively verify they won't fall. Their assurance is totally rooted in the character, the reliability of the parent waiting for them. It's complete surrender of doubt to trust. The child isn't analyzing, they're just trusting. It just captures that essence of assurance in the unseen, the vulnerability, the complete reliance on someone else's trustworthiness. There's no tangible proof in that moment, that split second of falling, only the conviction born from relationship. And hopefully, a splash and a laugh at the end. It's a great reminder that sometimes the simplest acts of trust are actually the most profound.
Wow. Okay, those examples really bring the definition to life, make it incredibly human. So for you, our listener, what does all this mean today? How does this ancient yet clearly incredibly powerful definition of faith, how does it resonate and apply in our modern lives, which are often chaotic, certainly uncertain?
Yeah, this is really where the rubber meets the road, isn't it? Faith isn't just for biblical figures or, grand historical moments. Our source makes it clear it has concrete, actionable applications for your everyday life. Whether you consciously label it faith or not, actually, like maybe you're praying for a breakthrough. It could be in your family, your finances, a health situation, even a relationship. Faith, in that context, means holding on to the promises you believe in, even when you don't see the answer yet. When circumstances seem to, scream the opposite, it's choosing to act as if that unseen answer is already taking shape. Holding on to that assurance in the unseen instead of giving up when the visible evidence isn't there. It's kind of the difference between just hoping for rain and actually, buying an umbrella. Or maybe think about feeling led or perhaps just pulled into a totally new season. Could be a new career path, a significant ministry role, maybe starting a new relationship. Faith is stepping out into that unknown, often without having all the answers neatly lined up, trusting that something larger is at play, preparing the way. Even though you can't see what's around the next bend or how all the pieces will eventually fit together, it's acknowledging the fog, definitely, but still taking that first step, trusting the guide. And it's not just for the huge, life-altering decisions either. The source also reminds us that faith is about daily living, those smaller choices, like choosing to forgive someone who's wronged you, even when it feels impossible or completely undeserved, trusting that grace will lead to healing, even if you can't see it right away, or choosing to act with integrity when absolutely no one is watching, trusting in some deeper purpose or an unseen moral compass. It's really in those small, consistent acts of trust, choice by choice, that faith is truly built up and lived out. It's about how you approach your daily stuff with that internal posture of confidence and assurance.
I think that's incredibly powerful advice for all of us, especially living in a world that often demands immediate results, visible proof for everything. And I want to directly encourage you, our listener, just take a moment. Ask yourself, where in your life right now do you need to exercise this kind of faith? Where do you need to lean into that confidence in what you hope for and find assurance about what you cannot yet see? Just let that question sit with you for a bit. So as we wrap up this deep dive, let's just really recap that powerful definition from Hebrews 11.1. Faith is confidence in what we hope for, and it's assurance about what we do not see. It's about truly trusting the map, yes, but maybe more importantly, trusting the reliable guide who provided it, even when that road ahead is completely shrouded in fog. It's a journey of persistent trust, often imperfect trust.
And maybe a final thought to leave you with. If faith really is fundamentally about trusting what we cannot yet see, considering those two pillars, confident hope and unseen assurance, how might really embracing this confidence in the unseen profoundly transform your approach?
Yeah.
Your approach to the challenges and opportunities that are maybe just beyond your current horizon? What new possibilities, what new sense of peace, perhaps, or purpose might emerge if you consciously choose to foster a deeper, more heart-centered trust in your own life's journey, especially in those areas where the path isn't clear yet or where the visible evidence feels scarce? It's a profound question, I think, one that can genuinely reshape how we live.
A truly thought-provoking way to end, and definitely gives us all plenty to reflect on. Thank you so much for joining us on this deep dive. We really hope this exploration has not only informed you, but maybe genuinely encouraged you to keep exploring these profound concepts in your own life. We'll catch you next time.